So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be doing another compilation video. These are some pretty good topics and there has been a lot of conversation all over the net about what's been going on. So on the docket tonight, we have Keke Palmer appearing in the new Usher music video for his song called Boyfriend. This is following the Twitter incident Keke and her baby father Darius had about a month ago, where he disrespectfully called her out for her outfit of choice while attending the Usher concert in Las Vegas. Very ironic how this came about. Next up, we have Mena from Love and Hip Hop being called out for blackfishing by social media users. This brings up the conversation about how blackness is seemingly only palatable on certain women and how many incidents we've had with blackfishing over the last few years. And lastly, one of the newest female rappers, Sexxy REDD, was on a podcast show called Safe Space Podcast with rapper Lil Yachty. When she was asked the question, she responded with a very serious claim, and the responses from the host were unsettling to say the least. So y'all know what to do. Number or label your comments based off of which story you want to comment on. You can either comment on all three or just one. I will try to read most of the responses the best I can and continue the conversation down below. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So our first story is about Sexxy REDD appearing on the Safe Space podcast and being met with very distasteful responses to a very traumatic situation. Sexxy REDD is a rapper out of St. Louis, Missouri. She is currently 25 years old and she's been taking the female rap game by storm. Now, I do want to do a separate video on Sexxy REDD, but I have still just been kind of watching to see how this is going to play out because obviously she's very polarizing and what she represents is essentially demeaning, but it is her true authentic self and it kind of falls into this incident. So what I mean by that is while she appeared on the show, she was asked what is the craziest thing that she has ever been through. And Sexxy REDD comes off as a very open individual. She's very transparent, very vulgar, and seems to just not care about how she's viewed, which a lot of people take a liking to. I am all for people being unapologetic about their thoughts, opinions, and the way how they are, but I do caution it due to the fact that the reception that it could give could lead to incidents like what happened here. So let's check out the clip.
Can you tell us like the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
Crazy shit. And it's gonna stay between us.
I got love. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me.
Maybe something a little under that.
Yeah,
maybe something.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
Like maybe something.
Shootout?
Yeah, there we go. Shootouts.
There we go.
High speed?
Yeah, that's more what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Wait.
I'm sorry. What's that? we just want to say we are sorry that happened.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, wait, that's definitely
that is bad.
That is unfortunate.
It's not something we should speak on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the shootouts and stuff. Wow. You know, you have done a lot of things.
Yeah, I have.
And now you're a big rapper.
So yeah, that was tough. And in all honesty, my mouth dropped open when I first saw this on Twitter because say what you want about Sexxy REDD, but no woman who has been in a situation where her innocence, her power, and her sexual desires have been taken advantage of deserves to be laughed at, let alone dismissed. Their responses were very dismissive, and the fact that anyone could crack up, cackle, or even smirk after being told something like that is beyond wild. And I feel like this goes to show how oftentimes black men in hip-hop culture really have no respect for women overall. And it's really sad because I feel like why they did this was they generally don't have respect for women, but then even further, they don't see Sexxy REDD as someone who is worth having sympathy for due to the way that she presents herself. And that's why I caution some women sometimes to kind of be wary of how hard you go with the way how you display yourself, not necessarily to alleviate what could come from men. There's no way to do that, but just so that you don't put yourself in a situation or environment where you're dealing with men like this. I'm pretty sure she's on a press tour. She's the hottest thing popping right now. She's been doing podcasts. She's opening up for Drake on the rest of his tour. She has songs with bigger name artists now. So she really is on a high. And I feel like there's many other people in the industry that don't view her as worthy of respect. And that was very clear with the host of this podcast. I wonder what men would do if they were on the receiving end of the aggressive sexual assault. Statistics show that 1 in 4 women have been AR'd, and then 1 in 26 men have been AR'd. That is a staggering difference, and the disparity in those numbers literally show that a lot of men just don't get it. Having to deal with some form of sexual assault is a very big reality for a lot of women, and with most cases, it does go unreported. So it baffles me that somebody could find humor in a statement like that. But regardless of what you think about Sexxy Red, if you are a woman who has been through this, it will never be okay that there's no safe space for women to kind of talk about this with men. It's very ironic that the podcast is called Safe Space, and in a place where Sexxy Red, I guess, presumably thought that she was safe, she was met with immature, insensitive, and honestly typical behavior from this type of black men. Lil Yachty and the other co-hosts, I didn't even bother to find out what his name was, should be ashamed of themselves. And no apology could really fix this, as now her humiliation has been solidified. She is better than me because I would have been blasting them a little bit more, because look at how giddy they were to talk about her saying that she was in a violent shootout. But something that actually happened to her and that she was very forward with, they didn't want to address it. And I do understand how finicky and uncomfortable a conversation like that is, especially for men, being that I'm sure they don't know how to console her and they wouldn't know what to say without it being too explicit or out of their comfort zone. However, to respond with laughter and making it seem like what she said didn't deserve immediate counsel with their response is honestly disgusting. The first thing they could have said was, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. You're a strong woman for speaking up about it. If you would like to share more, you can, or let's talk about some other things that you've dealt with as well. I think a lot of men need to tread lightly. Gone are the days where you can talk about things that affect women in a very lighthearted way. Women have a voice now, and when it comes to hip hop, women are really the focus right now. There are thousands of women that have dealt with abuse or assault at the hands of men, and I think men need to really tread lightly. To find comedy and brush over someone speaking about such a sinister situation is very disappointing to me. I really hate the fact that a lot of people have a podcast that don't deserve to speak and don't have the common sense or training to really navigate a conversation. It's not just about chatting and opening your wide plates mouths to the microphone, and it's gotten out of hand what a lot of men have been saying on podcasts over the last few years. I don't really care for Sexxy Red. She's really just an extension of what's already been popular in rap music. However, I truly felt bad for her when I watched this, being that I resonate with the situation and I didn't find it funny. I really didn't find it funny that they were so dismissive, and they really deserve every piece of backlash that they are getting. Now, before we move on, I know that was a little bit heavy, but I would like to introduce today's video sponsor. So today's video is sponsored by Mekify. If you're someone looking for a lifestyle change, you want to meet personal or financial goals that you have, but you don't know where to get started, yet you're willing to learn online business technique and leveraging digital tools, check out the interview I had with Emeka and Ife and Wanchukwu from Alberta, Canada about their business. If you have any other questions or need any more information, check out the pinned comment down below to get in contact with them and check out their website. I am here with Emeka and Ife. They're going to tell us all about their business. So just starting off, basically, what exactly is your business about?
So the business is about leveraging digital tools to build a business that is supported by actual products, actual services with already assessed companies. Our business tries to sell transformation to people from where they are today in their lives to where they can be tomorrow in what they dream about today.
So it sounds very intriguing. How long has the idea developed?
So it's going to be about 4.5 years now. Honestly, it's been awesome. As professionals, he's working, I'm working. We're just away from our kids. We just wanted to do things together, and live a happy life. And in addition, build generational wealth. And that's why we started our business.
I know you guys are based in Canada. Can this be done only in Canada, or is it global?
Yeah, it's very global. You can do this from anywhere. So it doesn't really matter your location. So anyone can do this business, but then you have to be over 18 years of age. You have to be 18 and over. All you're needing is just the internet and a smart device, and you're good to go.
We do have people from all over the world, people from rural locations in Southeast Asia, in Africa, in the US,
it doesn't matter the location.
And we've seen people come straight out of poverty.
So up next, we have Love and Hip Hop star Erica Mena being accused of blackface after social media commentators compare her new look to Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes. So as you can see from the selfie, Erica is sporting a very, very dark tan. She has blonde hair in, and honestly, I do think she looks different. I really didn't recognize her at first glance. I really didn't even think it was her. I had to look again. I mean, obviously it looks like her and it is her, but I was like, something something is a little different. If you compare this photo to other photos that Erica posts, let alone just regular videos of herself, there's definitely a complete different look of skin tone. And we've been seeing this a lot over the years, where non-Black women are tanning their skin even deeper and sporting their look in a certain way that kind of makes them look Black adjacent, even though they are either non-Black women, yet still women of color, or just not a woman of color overall. So I think Erica is a pretty girl. I think she has an underrated talent as well. I saw her trailer for the movie that she's going to be doing on Tubi, and I feel like she looked like she was going to do a good job. Like, I will definitely be willing to check it out. But I really have this thing about women who kind of cosplay in Blackness, and I feel like the reason why it gets pushed back is for obvious reasons. For years, a lot of Black women were told that their skin is too dark and all of the rest of their features are just not pretty or palatable. Yet, when you put all of that on a non-Black woman, it gets praised. And we've been having this conversation, especially on social media, for like the past 5 years. And I think a lot of these non-Black public figures really like to play in our faces because they're trying to appeal to Black men who oftentimes like all of these features, just not on Black women. And I don't think that represents the collective of Black men. I think that it speaks for a good amount of Black men that are in entertainment though. So the rappers, the athletes, the actors, the social media individuals, oftentimes the aesthetic is dark-skinned Black man with ambiguous woman, whether she's a Latina or biracial or anything else. Like I said, I don't think this applies to Black men in general because when I walk outside and I live in a Black area, I see Black men with Black women, but that's just me. So Erica was getting cooked up. They were saying that she looks like Nene Leakes. They were saying, who is this Nubian queen? They were even comparing her to Brandy Norwood. And I think rightfully so, it does deserve to be addressed. And the reason why I say this is because the more we kind of shrug our shoulders or don't care about our imagery being played with in a certain way, the more people are going to think that it's okay. There's a lot of people in the comments arguing that because Erica Mena is a Latina and that Latinas can become very tan, that there's no issue with this. But let's be real. This is a tan, yes, but it's also the way how the photo was edited to make her appear to be damn near my complexion. So I left a comment on It's On Site, shout out to their blog, and I said, I mean, after all these years of y'all letting it slide, women like Erica Mena will continue to have this audacity. As Black women, stop letting non-Black women play with what naturally occurs in you. From skin tone, the lips, body shape, even how we talk, stop being so friendly about what makes us us. Years ago, people didn't even acknowledge the natural beauty of Black women, but for some reason in recent times, everything Black women have is now so desirable, but just on non-Black women. We can't let it slide no more. And yes, it is that serious. So like I said, people were trying to argue me down and telling me that Black women are not the only people with curvy bodies and plump lips, and that Latinas come that way too, and that Black women are delusional, that nobody wants to be like us. But Erica has severely touched her face over the years. From lip injections and tweaking how she looks, she seems to appear more Black. And I do agree that Latinas can be curvy and all of these things, but when we think of a voluptuous woman, we oftentimes think of Black women. And it's more than obvious that that does not apply to all Black women. Let me say that again. It does not apply to all, and I shouldn't have to say that, but Erica Mena is not Black. Her father is Dominican and her mother is Puerto Rican. And if she's a Puerto Rican who has probably an ambiguous ancestry, and then Dominicans do have African ancestry, even though many times they don't want to admit it, then that would make her mixed or ambiguous. She's definitely not a Black girl. Overall, I just feel like let's just not do it with the skin color stuff, you know? Like, get your lips injected all you want, make your body more curvaceous, use the Black slang, do what you do. But when you're tanning your skin to a hue that is similar to a race that you don't belong to, and a race that has historically been told that their skin tone is undesirable, is it not common sense why it can come off very offensive? There were so many people saying that Black women should stop wearing hair extensions, as if looser hair textures are derivative of white people and Caucasians only. That is not the case. I have never heard of Caucasian wavy. I have never heard of European coily. I have never heard of French silky straight, like never ever. So to me, that is not a good rebuttal, as we're talking about skin tone, which in most cases correlates to race, not ethnicity or nationality. I'm over the culture vulture behavior, especially of brown and darker skinned women who just don't get the praise. I understand that Latinas also have melanin, but she doesn't have that melanin. So before people try to argue that, yes, this can apply to Latinas, let's be real. Most Latinas are not considering themselves Black, and Erica Mena does not consider herself Black at all. My advice is Black women continue to be the trendsetters, and if you ask me, stand for something or you'll fall for anything. I don't think it's worth calling out an entire ethnicity of people, but Blackness can't be purchased or rented for temporary convenience. So our last story is about Keke Palmer being featured as the main girl in Usher's new video for his song Boyfriend. Now this has just been such a debate, and I really am split. I can't pick a side on this because I genuinely genuinely see both sides. On one end, I feel as though Keke is dragging it a little bit, and she's adding insult to injury off of emotion and not really considering the long-term effects. But on the other hand, I see it as a business opportunity as well as great marketing to keep her name in the blogs and bring more attention to her, as well as the well-deserved get back at her baby daddy who completely disrespected her. So Keke announced this by posting on Twitter saying, "Usher, I remember when I was 12 and auditioned for In the Mix. You have been killing it all of my life. As a true lover of the arts, your talent and craftsmanship are a rare combination that I aspire to achieve as a performer. You are a living legend who is worthy of all. Thank you for encouraging me and seeing me as the entertainer I am. I know I'm a girl, but when I watched your videos, I never wanted to be the girl in them. I wanted to be you. Thank you for making a dream come true." And then she linked the video, which has received almost 2 million views in just one day. So Keke threw a lot of shade in the video. It was one point where she was in the bed, she got a call, now she's on the phone. She woke up, she was like, "Oh, what time is it?" She says, "Damn it, I missed the show." Then she says, "I'm so tired, but I am a mother after all," with a little wink. And I thought this was all very, very good shade. I mean, her baby daddy embarrassed her on Twitter and she got her lick back. I can't be mad at that, and it seems like her baby daddy really just fumbled in the situation because apparently it doesn't seem like Keke is looking back. Keke and Usher definitely chose violence with this one. Some people think that this was all a publicity stunt, and I don't really think so. Like, I don't think the boyfriend was in on calling his baby mother out on Twitter, because why? I do think that the collaboration was definitely publicity and marketing, as well as chasing the clout that came from such a viral incident. She definitely one-upped her baby daddy, and he just gotta hold this L. Now, there were some people that said that Keke was wrong. There was a viral tweet that said, "Disrespected her man publicly, then gaslit him, only to star in the man she disrespected him with video for his new song, where the first line is, 'Heard your boyfriend looking for me.' Men are never wrong about ish like this. It just takes some time to reveal itself, like clockwork." Now, I can't say that I agree with this statement all the way, but I will say that I do understand the point of view. And I think this is more or less just gender wars, because the women are going to side with the women scorned ideology, and the men are going to side with the men being disrespected ideology. And I truly do see both sides. I see both sides because I feel like even in the original incident, I see how and why Keke's baby daddy felt a way about what she had on and the actions that she was displaying with Usher. However, I don't take it as intentional disrespect, being that another man is engaging with a woman who is taken, whether she's in a relationship or married. It is going to make somebody feel some type of way. And a lot of women sat up here and said that you wouldn't feel any type of way of another person touching your partner, regardless if they are Usher or a fruit gusher. And y'all know y'all are lying. Let some voluptuous woman come and touch up on your man, flirt with him, go grinding kind of back and forth, and you're just standing there watching. You're gonna feel a type of way. Like I said, whether it's Usher or a fruit gusher. And especially if physical touch is one of your love languages, you're not just gonna wanna see that, even if you can overlook it for the general aspect of it just being fun or a girl's night out or whatever it was. But I think people do feel a type of way about their partners seemingly being flirtatious with another individual. So I got the fact that Darius felt away. I get it. What I don't like is the way how he approached it, and I don't like the fact that he doubled down in what he was saying instead of just apologizing publicly and not making himself look worse. I also don't like the fact that Keke had one rule, which was do not bring anything about our relationship to social media, and he did just that. So with that being considered, Keke has every right to go and do what she's doing. But I'll also say to Keke, I do get the whole caution of don't let the internet emotions and temporary satisfaction really create a broken home that may become irreparable. I think in relationships, everybody makes mistakes, and I believe that both of them made a mistake. Keke's baby daddy disrespectfully and inappropriately addressed the concern that he had, and Keke didn't consider his feelings and emotions when she went to that concert. And I feel like if you have any respect for your relationship, whether it's your boyfriend or your husband, if your man feels uneasy about something that you're wearing, a relationship comes with compromise, and I do think you should consider that person's feelings. But we're in the era of women, where women feel that it doesn't matter how men feel or what they say, we should be able to do what we want because we have undergone hundreds, if not thousands of years of misogyny and objectification. And I do see that as well. But I feel like when you're in a relationship, you have to consider the other person unless there really isn't a relationship, or at least not a relationship with respect. Because if roles were reversed and Keke said something about Darius being shirtless, even though I'm sure she doesn't care, but let's just say that she did, nobody would be telling Keke that she's wrong for calling him out, because again, right now, women get to say whatever they want. We finally have our voice, and I'm here for it, but I do see all aspects of it. So when I say that I don't want emotions, social media, and temporary satisfaction to trick Keke out of a stable family environment for her child, I say this because because as Black people, the numbers show that children do better in a 2-parent household. And I'm considering the fact that this baby isn't even 6 months old yet. I'm considering the fact that I don't think this is worth breaking up over. And I'm considering the fact that I think both people's point of view should be considered. There's a lot of people saying that it's better to be a single mom than to tolerate a man with a low self-esteem and ego. And while I do think that can be true, I think it has to be considered a little bit differently when you know that you have a child with said individual. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but from what Keke showed us of Darius all this while was that he is somebody that we should think positively of, and that was making her very happy. So I just really hope that Keke is considering the fact that something like this can be worked on if she feels like it's worth working on, and that the internet should never have that much infiltration about what actions you truly do with your personal life. I think the embarrassment is kind of unforgivable, but I do think for the sake of the child, it's worth considering reconciliation. If there was no baby involved, I would tell Keke to just kick him to the curb, but I don't like seeing broken families, I don't like seeing single mothers, and I especially don't like seeing single Black mothers, which is now what has happened. It was announced that Keke and Darius are no longer together. He made a statement saying that 2 people can be healthy co-parents even if they're not together or living in the same household. And as much as that is very true, it's also still very unfortunate. I guess this is a case of he played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. The internet will never forgive him for this, and that is crazy. I honestly predict that they will get back together. I truly don't foresee this really being the straw that broke the camel back, but if we're being real, Keke definitely got her lick back. I don't think either one of them will be hurting for love or money. I know people try to call Keke Palmer's baby daddy broke, unemployed, or whatever. However, he does have a famous actor brother who is decently known in the industry, so I don't think he's hurting for money whatsoever. I think he actually could very much become a bigger brand just off of the backlash and the attention that he gets. So of course, he'll never compare to Keke, but I don't think he's suffering either. And same thing for Keke. I don't think Keke is incapable of pulling another man. Whether he's in the industry or not, Keke is still a very desirable woman. She has newfound attention. She's getting a lot of praise for how she looks after this baby, and I'm pretty sure her hotline is still blinging. So if they truly do move on to other people, I'm pretty sure they will both be fine, but I would love for both of them to consider the child with whatever decision that they decide to make. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream my song Ceremony out on all platforms, as well as my song Let's Go. Stay tuned for the music video dropping very soon. Also, be sure to check out our sponsor Mekify. Their information is down below, pinned in the comment section, as well as the description box. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Let's go. Everybody take note. Here's Queen Chioma reppin' Africa, West Coast.